So this is a 1-star review on Trustpilot of IKEA. Now, I will say this is like the general, I assume, dumping ground for all complaints related to IKEA internationally. So
Correct.
this is where those kind of reviews will go. This review is written by Brian S.
I or a Y?
Oh, good question. Brian with an I. Last initial S is in Sam. All right, here we go. 1 star. Recently, by the way, just a couple months ago. Okay. How difficult can it be to buy 2 office chairs from this company? Order placed online for 2 office chairs, arrive at the Tottenham store collection point on the 10th, 50-mile round trip, but only 1 chair is available along with the arms for the other chair. The man handing over the delivery makes no mention of the fact that items are missing from my order. I take the 1 chair and additional set of arms home and call IKEA the next day to sort out the delivery for the missing chair. Wait on hold for 50 minutes whilst being tortured by ABBA played on loop. Finally, someone speaks to me and they confirm the missing chair will be delivered to my home address on the 16th, and a confirmation email is received from IKEA. Another email is received from IKEA today advising, so we're just getting in touch to remind you that your order, I have the order number 117633133, is still waiting for collection today. And we want to make sure it gets safely to its new home from their Tottenham store. I ignore this email as I know the chair is being delivered from Peterborough on the 16th. Then later today, I receive another email with an invoice attached, and the delivery date on the invoice is 3/20/2021. I call IKEA customer service to find out what I should do next. Do I A, go to the Tottenham store, B, wait in on the 16th as arranged, or C, ignore A and B and wait in on the 20th? Customer service can't find any documentation on the system regarding the Tottenham pickup or the delivery date of the 16th and confirm I should wait in on the 20th. The only reason I ordered these 2 chairs in the beginning was because they were both available for collection on the 10th. If you want a stress-free purchase, do not buy any furniture online from IKEA, unless, of course, you like listening to ABBA on loop and sitting on the floor until your furniture arrives. Update. IKEA have just emailed me without warning, confirming they have now canceled the rest of my order. I now have 1 chair and 2 sets of chair arms I don't want. Well done, IKEA. Stick to the pork meatballs for everyone's sake, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brian.
Brian, don't you feel for Brian?
I really feel for Brian. It does make me question. I feel like here in the, I don't know where Tottenham is. I wrote that down because I want us to like guess.
I might have been saying that wrong. Could be Tottenham. I'm not sure.
Tote and ham. It's like you have ham in your tote.
Yeah, but there is TOTT. I'm not sure.
It feels to me like it would be like in the UK, but then they referenced that it was miles away. Wouldn't they say kilometers?
Well, interesting, because I thought it sounded like UK too. And then when they wrote out the address, and then when they wrote out the date that they said that the invoice had changed it to the 20th, they wrote 20/3/2021. So that's not an American thing. So I would say this is not American.
Correct. But it's interesting they said miles.
Well, maybe they're like an American abroad.
I also like the phrasing of wait in.
Yeah.
Another clue, it's not an American.
Right.
But that really is like what's actually like why I think this is ringing as
authentic.
Yes, and like this could be a common experience, because that is what is so frustrating about when you have a delivery window. And this was my original point that I got off topic on, is like,
yeah,
I believe that in America, IKEA has like they don't do the delivery. It's like you have to like outsource the delivery like through their website, but it isn't. I don't know. It's confusing to me. It isn't like you're just buying on Amazon and it's coming in an Amazon Prime truck.
right.
But my point, wait in, because you'll have like a delivery window of like many hours. So then you really do have to like be at home in order to receive it. So I really felt for Brian S. here, and the sort
He
of back and forth.
obviously reorganized his whole schedule so that he could be home on the 16th based on not one, but 2 different emails.
Mm-mm.
Not acceptable. It looks like, I was just trying to look up, it looks like it is in Europe, and it's something that like we would know if we were into soccer or what they call football, because it's like a thing.
Oh,
There's lots of like Tottenham versus Peterborough soccer football.
and Peterborough
Thanks.
is where it was supposed to be the replacement was delivering from. I did have a question. So were the legs assembled to the chair, but the arms were not?
Oh, it must be, right? Because it appears that way, but I could be wrong. That like the chair, because otherwise it's like, what is a chair? You know, like
Right.
It makes sense that the chair would be together and then you would like screw in the arms to me. So I feel like we had, a base and 4 arms.
I feel like because IKEA is very specific in its design. It's like very sleek, modern. I imagine it's like one architectural structure, and then you screw the arms on.
Right. Same. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I'm curious here. What is Brian's spelling and grammar like?
I think excellent. We utilize parentheses. We have lists.
Why?
Like why?
Because Brian was stuck at home.
Yeah.
On hold for 50 minutes listening to Dancing Queen.
Yeah.
Stuck at the computer. So Brian has time to see the little red squiggle.
Yeah.
Double click, see, and fix.
And at least let's give Brian so much credit, because I'm giving Brian all the credit. Like, despite the fact of the plot twists at the end where they just canceled the whole order, like, wow, what a plot twist. He ended, albeit angrily, because this was done all caps with multiple exclamation points when he said, well done, IKEA, stick to the pork meatballs for everyone's sake, please. At least he gave a nod to the pork meatballs.
It's interesting to me how famous the meatballs are. I mean, even I know about the meatballs.
I know. Everybody knows about the IKEA Swedish meatballs.
It is interesting to me that there was no record in the system. Right. That makes me very confused. Also, the whole situation with IKEA is very much like you can walk through the showroom and then you go through the factory area and you're like selecting everything. So like it makes me a little alarmed. There is an impact here for me.
Right.
Having gone to IKEA and done this before, like so much is based on that the inventory is accurate.
Right.
Because
exactly.
If someone is like waiting in a really long line and they're like, you know what, I don't want this anymore, and they like just drop pieces here, then like the inventory is messed up. So like that is a huge problem, that Brian chose these 2 chairs because they were a pair, and then when they came, they weren't even there. I think the first mistake is that the like receiving person just didn't acknowledge
just through the chairs and without the, like, do you think that, I do wonder about that, like, do you think that was an error on the part of the person that was putting the delivery items in the car? Like they just forgot to include the second base? No, you think they just didn't have it and they were just like, screw it, we'll just
because where did it go? Like if when Brian got home and realized it wasn't there and called the original IKEA, like there's no record of it being anywhere. So unless the delivery person stole it, or like the like selecting,
because you think if they tracked it down and they saw it was still there, then they would have been like, just go back and pick it up. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, that's what I would imagine. I mean,
This is a nightmare situation with IKEA.
But it really does feel to me like this is an authentic experience and something that could totally happen.
Yeah.
Like I personally don't, well, I've done both actually. I've ordered from IKEA and I've also gone to IKEA. And yeah, I guess I do feel like the big like rug pull here is that Brian was not informed that it was the order that they were handed was incomplete. That's so like horrifying. And like,
but there's so many crimes that occurred, I feel like, in this throughout this whole process. Like that's just one of them. Then
That's
we're
true.
like, then we give a date, then we send 2 emails confirming that date. We can't, like, ugh, terrible.
And the 50-minute wait, that's terrible. And then it's canceled.
Yeah, and then it's canceled. Just no.
And then here's another question. Do you think that on purpose IKEA plays ABBA?
Oh, for sure. Swedish.
I know, but like it's just so on the nose.
I feel like IKEA doesn't mind. Like I think that the one thing I'll say, which is outside this review, that I respect IKEA, they really lean in to the Swedish. We got the Swedish, like
Those
they
names.
know that that's the shtick.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't pronounce anything.
Yeah, like it's the whole shtick. We can't pronounce the names, and we are getting the Swedish meatballs. We're in line, and of course the whole music is ABBA. I would be shocked if it weren't.
I mean, the ABBA thing was probably the only thing that was funny to me in this review. And I was not entertained. It makes me very upset. It makes me angry. It makes me feel taken advantage of. It makes me feel very badly. I am 100% on Brian S.'s side in this review. And like, as you were ending, I was like, what's the resolution? And then there's an update. And the update doesn't even have a resolution. It's canceled.
Well, the update,
well, what does that mean? Like what?
It means it's done. It means like game over.
But Brian has paid.
I'm assuming when they canceled it, they probably they probably reimbursed him for the second chair. So now he just has these spare arms.
Maybe, yeah.
You know?
Oh,
I mean, just egregious all around. Very upsetting. I think really valid. I think I liked the way that Brian S. took us through the journey of his experience. I agree. I didn't feel like he left too much meat on the bone. Like it was a longer review, but it wasn't like super fatty and bloated and like repetitive or anything like that. Like it was pretty succinct.
I think I can crown this.
Are you ready?
I think so. What about you?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
The queens are tabulating.
All right. So Chelsey and I each have our own set of 1 to 5 crown cards. And in an effort to be fair and not influenced by one another, we will simultaneously reveal our rating.
The queens are tabulating.
Okay, Chelsey, you ready?
I'm ready.
I think I'm like totally ready. Okay.
Yeah.
Total score.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm holding up 4 crowns. Oh, sorry. I'm holding up 4.5 crowns, and Trey is holding up 4 crowns.
I almost
You almost went for the half. Why did you give Brian S 4 crowns?
I gave the 4 because it feels to me that Brian really did an excellent job of a review. They walked me through the experience. They emotionally engaged me. I feel for Brian. They didn't like degrade the company. They didn't use cuss words. They just walked through the experience and how it was so inferior. The only reason I took anything off is because there wasn't a lot of use of humor. And that's really it. That's why I almost did 4.5. But it also made me uncomfortable that Brian put the order number in the review, because that just made me feel like, I don't know, fraud could happen or something dangerous could happen. I recognize that it was canceled, but too much personal detail makes me uncomfortable. So I did 4 crowns. Why did you do 4.5?
I mean, I did 4.5 because I kind of think that Brian S is a review queen. I really liked Brian. I think he did like, yeah, did he make me bowl over? No, he didn't. That's why I leave the half crown because I need to, be extremely entertained in order to give the full 5 crowns. But other than that, I think I gave Brian S winning remarks on every category. So that's why he gets it. And then I love an insult in the end that's also a compliment. If you're somebody that can both insult and compliment at the same time, that deserves a nod. So for that alone, I thought it was the extra half crown for me. So Brian S, great job. And I hope you've recovered.
Yeah, I hope you have another chair and made an art something with the
It's only been
arms.
a few months. So if you haven't recovered yet, I understand, but I think you will soon.
This is one of the first times the impact of this review makes me want to read more reviews from Brian because I feel like Brian would not lead me astray. And I feel like I might sort of relate to Brian in a way.
I really like Brian a lot. I want to hang out with him. I feel like Brian's the guy that, if you have something going on in your life, it's like, ask Brian. He'll give you an honest assessment of the situation.
Well, we're fans of you, Brian.
Love you, Bri.
Love Bri. All right.
Bri, you're the best.
So we're going to keep felling over here about Brian as we go on a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to hear an entirely different side of the story.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait. Love it. BRB.
We're going to scream, Mamma Mia.
Here I go. Oh my God, we are going to scream Mamma Mia.
We'll be right back.
For Meryl.